Welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. For those of you who missed it, I do have a little Texas podcast we call Come and Take It that is powered by Texas Scorecard that I have on my YouTube channel. Make sure you are subscribed to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered YouTube channel. You can also find my Texas Scorecard content. And so the show that I did earlier today, we dropped that at 12 p.m. Central Time today, was of course about the Texas House, the saga of the Texas Democrats who claim that they're like, hey, come and take it. And then they're running away, which is really kind of contrary to the term come and take it. They're not coming and staying and daring us. They're just fleeing like little cockroaches. And so we've got this fight set up here in the state of Texas. And the fight, remember, is over a redistricting plan. So there is a map of the state of Texas that Republicans would like to redistrict. Now, because this is the state of Texas, this would benefit Republicans because the constituency is overwhelmingly Republican. And Democrats don't like that. Democrats would rather whine and bitch and moan about it and do what Democrats typically do, which is not play by the rules and instead try to look for loopholes. And so what they did was they left the state. And they left the state and they fled to places like Illinois and talked to Governor J.B. Pritzker. Sorry, I get that wrong my bad. I get that wrong every time. They talked to, they're over in New York talking to Governor Kathy Hochul. They are talking to Gavin Newsom. And you've got all of these governors from these different states who are like, you know what? If Texas Republicans don't come to the table, we also might redistrict our states. Now, first of all, that's hilarious coming from a place like Illinois, because you guys are like the gerrymandering haven of the world. But okay, go do as you will do. That's your state. You guys, that's your prerogative. If you have legislators who will vote for something like that, then I guess you do you guys and we're going to do us. And so we're watching all of this play out. And after I taped my episode on this, you also had Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who entered the ring. He now has announced today that he will seek judicial orders declaring that runaway Democrats who abandon their legislative duties will vacate their office, or at least will make it official that they have actually vacated their office. And they now have until Friday to return to Texas. And I wanted to bring on my friend, my own Texas House Representative, Representative Mitch Little, to just kind of give us the scene of what the hell is happening on the House floor. And if we anticipate, are Democrats actually going to be rounded up, for lack of a better term, and brought back to the Texas House? What are you hearing over there at the Texas House, Representative Little?
Well, they told us to come and take it, and we've decided to come and take it. You probably aware of this. We've already sent out civil arrest warrants to recover the Democrats. We're in process. Ken Paxton's obviously in process of filing petitions to remove them from office because they've totally abdicated their responsibility to Texas and have essentially vacated the seat. So we've got a lot of tools at our disposal, and we've begun to use them. The thing that is really bothering me today, that you may or may not have seen on the House floor, is the bribery issue. The fact that out-of-state Soros and Beto O'Rourke money is coming in to fund their quorum break and enable them to essentially vacate or reject their duties to the state of Texas. If this happened on any other bill where you had some type of outside influence come in and inject millions of dollars to encourage legislators to walk a vote, there would be a grand jury convened immediately. Yep. This is bribery, plain and simple. It is public corruption. It needs to be addressed. The reason we're having another quorum break after the one we had 4 years ago is we didn't teach them the lesson the first time.
Yes.
We've got an opportunity to do that over again, and I think we're going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have to, right, Mitch? You absolutely have to when you're looking at a Greg Abbott or a Dustin Burrows, which I'm going to speak. This is not representative of Mitch Little's opinion. This is totally Sara Gonzales's opinion, which is people are right to have their reservations about Greg Abbott or Dustin Burrows' actual true conservative nature. And this would prove a lot to those who might be on the fence, to those who might say, you know what, I don't think that you're as conservative as you should be. And I don't think you're representative of a Republican constituency. This is their defining moment that they can actually prove to the people of Texas, yes, we are going to put our money where our mouths are. Yes, we are going to actually follow through with the threats, because in my opinion, you can't issue a threat like Greg Abbott issued yesterday. You cannot tell them, hey, come back or we're going to vacate your seats. Oh, and by the way, you may be committing felonies. And if we find out that you're committing felonies, we are going to throw the book at you. You can't be a Dustin Burrows and say, hey, I'm signing these civil arrest warrants, which I do want you to explain maybe, like, are there differences to what that is compared to a typical arrest warrant? And if so, what they are. But like, you can't have that type of swagger in all of your press and then not follow through with it. I mean, that makes you look so weak. The Democrats will then learn we can do whatever the hell we want because they're never going to hold us accountable if we don't follow through on it now.
Sarah, you're absolutely right. The selection of a Speaker of the House and a governor is a never-ending process. It's what have you done for me lately? And I think not only the Speaker, but the governor, the Attorney General, working in concert with one another, have an opportunity to show what real Republican governance looks like. At times, Texans have had the benefit of a really aggressive Attorney General in Ken Paxton, but not a governor who's acting in concert with him, and certainly not a Speaker of the House who's doing his job. Now, I've never seen this degree of alignment, Sarah, between the governor, the legislature, the attorney general, lieutenant governor. We have an opportunity to govern as Republicans and achieve our goals. So what tools are available to us now? The second part of your question had to do with these civil subpoenas. What's the difference between that and a regular arrest warrant? Well, if it were a criminal arrest warrant, we would be able to send DPS or law enforcement to another state and physically retrieve them and bring them back. As it's been explained to me, I'm not sure I totally agree with this, the civil subpoenas that we have in place allow DPS to come and knock on their door in another state and politely ask, would you come with me? That's just not good enough. No. My understanding is we are in the process as a legislature of initiating petitions, filing lawsuits in Illinois and in New York to obtain New York and Illinois subpoenas that can be enforced to retrieve those people back to Texas. I have never seen all the stops pulled out like this. I think this is what Texans have been aching for. Every time the Democrats don't get their way, they act like babies and they run and tuck tail. And now we've got some tools at our disposal. And not only that, but we seem to have people who are interested in using them. So this is what we've wanted, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really is. So you feel like, I mean, you're there, you're in the Capitol, you're watching all of this play out. You guys showed up today at 1 o'clock and nothing happened. You guys just had to show up and check your watch and see how many people were going to show up. And then you had to just go back to your office. Is that what's going on?
We had 94 people on the floor. We needed 100 for quorum. So we're 6 short. I think we have 6 Democrats still left in the state somewhere that we can go and retrieve. Yeah. DPS is working on that as we speak. Our next scheduled meeting is Friday at 1 p.m. So we're going to try again to make quorum. My understanding is if we are able to wrangle enough of these people between now and Friday, we could get called back down here immediately to come down and vote and take up HB4. So the message I really want to send to you, Sarah, is the amount of Republicans working together is not something that I saw during the regular legislative session. Now, for some reason, Trump's redistricting has become the lever that we are using to come together as a party and work towards our objective. There's been so much division, so much kind of enmity between the grassroots conservative Republicans and what you would typically call the rhinos or uniparty Republicans. And now we seem to be pulling in the same direction. It's a nice change of pace, I think.
I would totally agree with you, sir. As someone who sits on the sidelines and watches all of this, I'm like, wow, I really didn't think that we would ever get here, but it feels good. I don't. Then I'm like waiting for the other shoe to drop because I'm like, hold on, this is too foreign. I have people.
It's a day-to-day thing. It's a day-to-day thing, right? Because tomorrow it could be a totally different policy, and then the centrist Republicans go, I don't feel like doing a conservative today.
Right.
But for the time being, we are getting every day, we are getting one step closer to an 88-62 speakership. All Republicans, no Democrats, which is exactly down Main Street of where we want to be as a party. We want to be led by Republicans to execute Republican policy. And the Democrats have had a stranglehold on our policy in the state through the Texas House for a long time. They're losing their grip on it. And frankly, I think they're losing their grip on reality a little bit too. They've headed off to Chicago and Illinois. You see them doing their press conferences, but they are losing the public narrative. It's Republicans who are in the media with the control of the narrative today and all of this week. I think we're getting closer to our objective every day.
Yeah. And Mitch, I saw that they took a private plane. Do we know how they got the funds to be able to take a private plane to, there's some of them there with their cute little twinsy shirts on. And I'm just wondering, it says let the people vote, by the way, on their shirts. Do we know how they got that money? Is that Soros money? Is that Beto O'Rourke money? Do we know?
Yeah, I'm so pissed off about this. So I generally don't tell people to go and read the Texas Tribune, but the Tribune is the only organization that has journalism on this up at this point. They appear to be well sourced. That Beto's political operation, his PAC, I forget the name of it, political something, is helping to finance this along with individual members of Congress and a Soros-driven PAC. So we have three potential prosecutable parties from a bribery standpoint who are paying for these people to violate their duties to the state of Texas. And just like I said earlier, if this were on any other bill, Sarah, we would have already convened a grand jury. Just pick any bill you want. And they've walked the vote. That was their intention, to walk the vote. They knew that this benefit had been conferred on them. I don't see what's not prosecutable about it, frankly.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, just for everyone who's watching this, Mitch is also like an incredible attorney. So he is speaking as an attorney with the expertise of an attorney, not just a layman. I just want to make that clear because we are talking about law.
Well, here's what you would have hoped, Sarah. You would have hoped that these brilliant Democrats would have gotten together and said, we need to hire a lawyer to determine whether it's legal for us to receive this benefit and go do this. But what I know after having served a session in the Texas House is there's never a plan. It's a series of emotional reactions and overreactions that are simply linked together. And that's all this is. It's a tantrum. Nobody thought through the issue of, hey, am I taking a bribe in doing this? Which in my view, they clearly are. This is an issue of public corruption. That's why on that Texas House floor today, I asked the speaker from the back mic through a parliamentary inquiry, I said, isn't it true that the House Committee on General Investigating can convene regardless of whether we have a quorum? And he said, yes, we can do that between adjournments. And then I asked another question. I said, isn't public corruption by members within the jurisdiction of the House Committee on General Investigating? And the speaker said, I'm not going to answer individual questions about the rules at this time. So it is very immensely clear to me that we have something to investigate here as a body. But it also is clear to me that the Republican leadership in the House and in Texas in general, I think, are trying to use the minimum amount of force necessary to gain compliance with the rules and make them show up. I'm fine with that as long as it works. The problem is we have not resolved the question of public corruption, which I think is endemic in this state.
I agree. By the way, I just thought of Beto's organization. I think it's called politicaldouchebag.com. One more thing that I want to get your opinion on. One more opinion from you. Do what?
It has a nice ring to it.
It does, right? I'm gonna go during the break. I'm gonna see if that's actually available, and I'm gonna take it before he can. So I want to ask you about this latest federal appeals court that upheld the Texas voter ID law. This was a unanimous vote that the voter ID law is going to require all mail-in ballots to include a state ID or partial social security number. This is a big win, I think, for the state of Texas that has kind of flown under the radar. This was, of course, a lawsuit from the Biden administration. And now we've got a federal appeals court who is agreeing we are allowed to have voter ID. Your thoughts, Mitch?
Is this not the no-brainer of the century?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we passed the law in Texas. We had an expectation that this would make our elections more secure. And I talk to people about this all the time. There are four mountains of Democrat culture: gender and sexuality, abortion, illegal immigration, and elections. Anytime you touch on one of those four issues, they engage in outrageous hysterics. And it's because the ability to cheat in elections is core to their mission. And they don't feel like in Texas they will ever have control of the state unless they have the ability to access mail-in ballots at will. This voter ID law interfered with that plan. And of course, thankfully, we've got a federal court upholding that provision. It's essential. How many things do you use ID for?
Right.
I mean, I went to get my driver's license updated, and I had to bring a passport.
Yep.
I mean, my goodness, if we're going to do something as important as vote in our society, we need to be able to prove that we are who we are.
Yep. Well, and to your point, it's like, well, it's the same reason that they're crying over this new redistricting map. They're mad because they realize that the constituency here in the state of Texas does not allow for them to hold anything close to a majority. And instead of actually fighting a fair fight, they want to cry about it. They want to lie. They want to cheat, and they want to steal. That's just the Democrat way. Representative Mitch Little, go ahead.
I'm sorry. The leftist news media has been asking me all week, well, why are you redistricting? And my response uniformly has been, because we can.
Yeah.
The answer doesn't need to be any more complex than that. Because we can. We have the ability and we have the votes.
You know, and actually, I'll just, on this one last note, Mitch, now that you said that, I mean, it's like, I'm sorry. Do you guys expect that if the Democrats there was a miracle and hell froze over and the Democrats had a strong majority in the state of Texas, I'm sorry, do we think for 1 second that they would not take their ability to go ahead and do that as well? That they wouldn't take every single opportunity that they could to stack the deck in their favor? Like, are we supposed to pretend like the Democrats would not do the same thing if they were in you guys' shoes? I just don't buy it.
The best evidence of future performance is past performance. If you look at the 1980s in Texas, the Democrats who were in control of Texas at the time managed to redistrict and not only discriminate against blacks and Hispanics, but also Republicans at the same time. They will do it every time they have power, no matter where they are. It's why you see California, Illinois, and New York saying, well, we're going to do it too. Not my problem.
Right.
Not my problem. We're going to do what's best for Texas here.
Right. Exactly right. I appreciate you, sir. I'm so glad that you are down there in Austin fighting for us. I'm so glad that I poll greeted for you, and you're making us proud. So I appreciate it. Make sure to keep us posted on what's happening. And listen, if any drama goes down, I'm just asking, Mitch, just get out your cell phone and just record it. Okay. If there's like any fights, any fisticuffs, you got to record it and then you got to send it to me and you'll give me a Sara Gonzales exclusive. Okay.
100% every time.
All right. Representative Mitch Little, thank you, sir. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
See ya. All right, let's go. We got to go to break. And then I'm going to be back with my guest in the house. Got a lot more to go over, but I want to thank our sponsor this segment, Craftco. So Craftco, yes, my Manna White never fails me. Thank you. Unfortunately, we're running low, but you know what? I got good news in store. No, I mean, maybe not for you guys because you're not here. You don't get to drink this stuff, but I've got a brand new bottle in my dressing room. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Listen to that. Can you hear that, Stephen? Is that picking up?
Yeah, you can hear it for sure.
Doesn't that sound, is there a more beautiful sound than that? There is. I'm not aware of it. So this is an American-made bourbon. And this is, Stephen, is this not awesome?
It's great.
It is so awesome. We love it. By the way, they've got like cool flavors if you're into like flavored whiskeys and bourbons. We just love real American made, just straight up bourbon, straight up whiskey. And the thing about this is with Flying Ace, you know that you are supporting an American company that also supports things like Folds of Honor, that helps, provide scholarships for families of America's fallen. They are really doing great things over there. It's a great American company to support. And it's not hard because you're not just like making a donation. You're just buying whiskey that tastes really good. Go get some. FlyingAceSpirits.com. Use code BLAZE for free shipping over at FlyingAceSpirits.com. Promo code BLAZE. Welcome to the show, Jaco Booyens, BlazeTV contributor and founder of Jaco Booyens Ministries, who is looking quite dashing today in his jacket.
Thank you,
You're
Sarah.
welcome. I'm glad that you're here.
You look amazing. Too.
Thank you. And I just had our friend, Representative Mitch Little on.
An amazing, actually my favorite politician.
I love him. Me too.
My favorite state politician on any state in the
It's
country.
not even close.
No, not close.
Yeah. It's
Champion.
Yeah.
Absolute champion.
He's great. So, but I know, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we all know each other. It would have been a little fun little powwow.
He's amazing.
So, you know, we've got a lot happening with all the Epstein files situation. And I feel like when we talk about this, we're bound to make someone mad because it's like, oh, don't hit trumpet on it. Oh, you have to hit him. You're not hitting him hard enough. Oh, yeah, I can never please anyone. And I actually don't care because I'm talking about what I feel is right.
Yes.
And I think that the Trump administration, not necessarily through the fault of Trump, I don't think it's actually Trump's fault at all. But I think his administration has completely bungled the way that they have handled the Jeffrey Epstein situation. There have been multiple unforced errors. And so now, moving past that, okay, we have the House Oversight Committee that has just announced that they are subpoenaing, is that a word? Subpoenaing? They have subpoenaed more high-profile individuals to testify about Jeffrey Epstein. That includes Bill Barr, who they have coming in August 18th. There's a chart there for those of you who are watching. Former U.S. Attorney General Alberto Gonzales, former U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, former FBI Director Robert Mueller, former U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch. You've got Eric Holder, Merrick Garland, James Comey, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. Those two are in October. So you've got James Comey October 7th, Hillary Clinton October 9th, and Bill Clinton October 14th. Now, before people get all excited, like, oh, what do we... I see this and I'm like, I admire the persistence. I understand what you guys are trying to do. But I don't think it's going to yield anything. There's going to be a lot of, I'm not answering this. I plead the fifth. What difference at this point does it make? I think we're going to hear a lot of that.
May I be brutally honest?
I only love it when you are.
Unvarnished, because this is my world.
Yes.
Human trafficking, 31-year experience here. I'm going to tell you this. What the American people want is what we want. We want justice. We want, and you know, we're launching a new court system. We want justice, but they can't give it to them because our government is so implicated in the trafficking of children, not for a short period of time, since 1953, when the federal government, presidents of the United States, funded Alfred Kinsey to write the sex offense section in the model penal code, to literally build our whole judicial system on the work of a pedophile. Our country is so implicated in using sex to compromise foreign assets, domestic assets, politicians, with MI6 and the French Intelligence Bureau and Mossad, Israel, and Robert Maxwell. We are compromised that there will be so much collateral damage to American citizens. I'm talking markets crash. Because the American people want justice. And do I think let it all come out and let it burn? Absolutely yes. Yeah. But the moral fortitude that would take from one person, because if it's a Pam Bondi or a Bongino that saw behind the veil or a President Trump, that person will stand alone.
Right.
Will stand alone.
Yeah.
And will take the brunt of all of it. Now, I've had Americans say, Jaco, well, que sera, sera. If the markets crash and American citizens lose livelihoods because you learn that Fortune 500 CEOs were, in fact, involved or whatever, then let it burn. Or remember, Budweiser, when the American public decide that company is now dead to us, if by default, a person had lunch with Epstein but wasn't on the island, but is on some sort of a list, and the public deems that person a pedophile, there's collateral damage in that direction that you can't get back. And so they are covering, no question, no doubt. But the fact is, Sarah, our country has historically, with all these other countries, been implicated and part of sexual exploitation of persons and children historically, to roll foreign assets and to compromise politicians and pay for play, because sex is power. Sex sells, baby. It does. And so this is why you saw a Pam who has a history of prosecuting human trafficking in Florida. Dan Bongino, that's a champion. He's a thank you for your
none of
service.
it makes sense.
Because once they see what's at stake,
yeah,
they're now implicated where they say, okay, Sarah, okay, we'll show you behind the curtain. And then they go tell them.
Right.
Go tell them, but you're on your own. We will fry you. None of us will stand with you. You go take the fall for mankind for the better good. And yes, I know your followers are going to say, well, then somebody do it. Send me, I'll do it. And I will literally do it because, heck, I mean, but it will take a very special individual to be willing to say, even the establishments you believe in that's left, that will crumble, well, let it crumble. And I just don't think the political will is there. Now, to this point, this is a nothing burger, by the way. This is Mark Zuckerberg going in front of Congress with Marsha Blackburn and Josh Hawley asking him about human trafficking, and he pleads the fifth. Or he spins up a cockamamie nonsense and it never goes to court.
Right.
You think, so I see this potentially as an aid to the administration of saying, hey, we're doing something.
Yeah.
We're doing something.
And
we're calling Bill Barr and we're calling Sessions. And we're calling Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Will Clinton show up? I don't know.
Right.
But we're doing something. And at least, there's that. And I think it's to help the administration. So, but do I think heads roll because of this? No.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. And then you also have, as that's happening, you have news that the Department of Justice is considering releasing their entire interview that they had, the transcription of their entire interview that they had with Ghislaine Maxwell, which they obviously did, a couple weeks ago. It was July 24th, the end of last month. They interviewed her over the course of 2 days, and they have a transcript and they also have audio. And now they're saying, well, maybe we'll just release all of that. We saw Ghislaine going back to her cell with this white box that presumably had files in it. I mean, it certainly looked like a file box to me. But, it's just like how they keep making even just floating that they're going to release the transcript or the audio. Okay, well, you better do it. I don't know how
why
you
even say that.
I don't know.
It's another faux pas, because I'll tell you this. What did her lawyer say? Ghislaine answered every question. I believe it.
Yeah.
Did the questions have any teeth to them?
Right.
Was there any meat to it?
Right.
If the question was, did Bill Clinton fly on the Lolita Express? Well, we know that. Mm-hmm. We know he did.
By the way,
you can't put him in jail for being on an airplane.
Exactly, which, to your point, there were people who flew on the Lolita Express who I'm sure also did not participate in
sex trafficking.
Correct.
And that's part of the collateral damage that will happen if you just open a whole kimono. And again, for the record, I say they should, but some people will get branded as pedophiles that never saw a human trafficking situation, saw a child. But this is America. You can't put someone in jail for being on an airplane. You have to investigate it. And so, okay, there's this hearing. Let's see how tough they are. But what were the questions to Ghislaine? Right? I mean,
if we saw the transcript. Right? Of course, the transcript will never be enough.
No.
We would need the audio. And even then, some people, I'm sure, will be like, that audio is doctored.
So
it's never going to satisfy.
We are in a position here where unless it's everything, the gladiators are in the arena and the crowd wants blood. Rightfully so, right? How much blood?
Right.
Who decides when it's enough blood, right? So will it be enough? It won't be enough. It won't be enough. People want to see perp walks, prosecutions, jail time. And the people they want to see jailed, I'm just telling you, I do not believe that there's the political will to do it. because of how compromised our country is. And what's at stake?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, so obviously there are many Republicans who would be implicated in this. Would you use that term? Would you use the term many?
Here's what I would say. And again, because I don't want people to mouth off because you don't know, because I'm in this fight. I want it all out. I want it all released. I'll say, let's start over. Let's take the Constitution and rebuild from the ground up. Abolish these agencies. Get rid of all of them. Let's start over. I just do not see at the moment, with all my time in D.C., that that's the momentum. I don't see that that's where it's going. Here's what I have found. Sexual immorality and the trafficking of children cut straight down the middle. It doesn't profile. Yeah. It is as much in the GOP as it is in the other side. Is as much in the church as it is in the non-church.
I believe that.
So do I think that people fall both? Oh yeah, heck yeah. I mean, almost equal.
Yeah, that's really
maybe
sad.
Just because in my heart I believe it tips a little bit in the other direction,
sure.
Right? But these are hidden sins, hidden crimes, justified often under national security.
Right.
So when you get to national security issues, right, that truly could compromise our vulnerability to the rest of the world, could compromise current assets, current informants, current active assets that are in the system, right?
Yeah.
They're again, do I think you need to just let it rip? Let it rip, baby. Lance the boil. Do I think that's going to happen? No. And I think this hearing is one of many that you'll see to try and tell the American people, hey, we're trying. We just hosted 30 legislators from North Carolina in my office this morning. And they said, Jaco, what do we do? And I said, go fight for North Carolina. Don't wait for the federal government to stop human trafficking. You're elected. You go do your job in North Carolina and stop waiting for the cavalry to come from Washington, D.C.
Yeah. By the way, you guys can go help Jaco in his fight. Obviously, he is speaking as someone who he mentioned is directly in the fight against sex trafficking and child trafficking. They're doing that over at Jaco Booyens Ministries. You can help them over at helpjbm.org. I just strongly believe in what you guys are doing and your mission, and I would encourage all of the viewers to go donate what you can to help them fight this. But he is, of course, the man with the expertise. I'm just the girl with a loud mouth. So
no. This girl walks into trans communities by herself when other Republicans will not show up.
That is true. They tweet about it a lot. And then it turns out it's just me who shows up.
And then you get manhandled and they talk about it.
Yeah.
You're right. I wanted to say this at the top of the show. And the people can go, oh, Jaco, just take it for whatever. You are an amazing, unbelievable patriot.
Oh, thank you.
Unbelievable woman. You're Ezekiel 33:7 says you're a watchman on the wall. You warn of the injustice, so the blood's not on your hands. You are one of those people. And I wish that there's people like that in D.C.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We will see, won't we? We'll see within the next couple of months, I guess, with all of these subpoenas coming up, how that shakes out. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more to come, but I want to thank our sponsor this segment, Shopify. So I love Shopify. If you go to AmericanBeautyBySarah.com right now, I'll wait. Go ahead. AmericanBeautyBySarah.com to go check out my makeup, which, by the way, I'm wearing huge lips. This color is called Huge Lips, and you can find that over at that website. But you will notice about the website, it's a really, really great website. It's very easy to use. It's very easy to shop on there. It's very easy to check out. And you know what else? It's very easy for me to go through and check orders and make sure everything's gone out and make sure I'm communicating with the warehouse, because their app is amazing. They are the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, 10% of all e-commerce in the United States. And so whether you're, a giant household name or you're just getting started, they've got a bunch of different ready-to-use templates. And they've got helpful AI tools. They can write product descriptions. They can write page headlines. They can even enhance your product photography. We really, really love Shopify over at AmericanBeautyBySarah.com. It really is amazing. It is tremendous. So if you're ready to sell, you are ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea with Shopify on your side. Isn't that nice?
That was
Like
nice.
that,
That's
yeah.
a nice touch.
That's a nice touch.
Oh, that's
Thank you very
nice.
much, audios.
That's nice.
So nice. Love the huge lips. Love Shopify. It's tremendous. Sign up for your $1 per month. Yeah. Yes, thank you. $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Sarah. That is shopify.com/Sarah. You're going to love this one, Jaco. You're going to love it. Democrat Congresswoman Delia Ramirez made some headlines yesterday after announcing her loyalty to Guatemala over America. Now, this is not in English, you will notice, so we'll go ahead and give you the translation afterwards. Watch.
Quiero terminar diciendo unas palabras en español porque yo soy guatemalteca con mucho orgullo, primero que soy americana.
So what she just said there was, I'm a proud Guatemalan before I'm an American. Now, this was at a summit in Mexico City over the weekend. By the way, just so we're clear, she is the daughter of Guatemalan, immigrants and an American citizen by birthright citizenship. And I'm just wondering, like, why she's here, Jaco. And I ask you this as one of my favorite immigrants ever.
Thank you.
Did it the right way. An American through and through.
Through and through.
Would you ever in your life say in front of a crowd of people, and I'm a South African before I'm an American, and then just come back and live here?
No, I'd have to be a liar because I had to swear an allegiance to this country
Exactly
and denounce
right.
my allegiance to the other country, which she didn't have to do because she was born here. She's just a brat, spoiled brat. And she should pack her bags and get on a jet plane and don't come back again, because that, or somebody didn't tell her that it's 2025 and what you say there actually we'll see over here, because she's placating to a crowd. But then the left does that all the time. Where they go, they say whatever they need to say to appease those people. But I think she's being truthful, Sarah. That's the thing.
And that's, yes.
I think she's
because
being honest.
I agree with you, especially because she is not the only Democrat congressperson or Democrat official at all to do that specifically. We've got Ilhan Omar, who said the same thing.
Talib.
This is the same thing. I think we have the Ilhan Omar comments here, which I will, I'll transcribe for you. Go ahead. The U.S. would not dare to support, then sleep in comfort knowing that I am here to protect the interests of Somalia from inside the U.S. system.
These are sleeper agents.
Literally, how can you come to any other conclusion?
Well, I'm just taking the woman for her word, both of them. I'm just taking them for their words.
Sleep in comfort knowing that I am here to protect the interests of Somalia from inside the U.S. system. How that doesn't get you expelled from Congress, I don't know.
How constituents are blind to that, going, oh, we elected you for Somali interest. We elected you for Guatemalan interest. No, I think not.
Well, but therein lies the other problem.
Or maybe.
Or maybe they did because...
You go to Minneapolis.
Yes, exactly.
Right? And now you understand Sharia law taking over this country, and Somalia has been radicalized by jihadists. Okay? So what interest exactly are you protecting? Yeah. Sharia state. Radical anti-American doctrine, elected officials. This is how deep the infiltration is. This is no game. This is not someone who snuck just across the border, gets elected. Now, if you go to that area, Ilhan Omar's area, it is, you don't know that you're in America.
Right. Yeah. It is little Somalia.
Half of that campus, students, I spoke on that campus with Turning Point USA 1 year, and students changed their majors because they didn't want to go to that area of the campus where there's...
You're kidding me.
Because the campus is in the community, so there's apartment buildings on campus.
You're kidding me.
Because of rape. Rape on campus, attacks at night on campus.
Wow.
So no, that whole campus is radicalized. I mean, that city. I mean, and look, So they're not lying. They are not here for the red, white, and blue, baby, for the Star-Spangled Banner, for the Constitution of the United States. So help me God. Where's that? No. So help me Somalia. So help me Guatemala. No, it's just, and they're not the only ones, by the way. I mean, there's more.
No, there are, well, which is what is so scary about this particular issue is there are way more.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand right now Republicans have the majority now. What they're doing with it is a different matter entirely, which we won't get into. But I mean, this woman, Delia, what's her face? Ramirez.
Ramirez.
There it is. You know, as a Gonzales, I get them all mixed up. Delia Ramirez, who describes herself as from being from Guatemala and also Chicago. Like, no, pick one. Pick one.
Well, where was she born?
Thank you. And if you are that
Was she not born in
ungrateful,
Illinois?
if you are that ungrateful about the country from which you were born, you've supposedly lived your entire life, why are you here? Go back to Guatemala. Ilan, go back to Somalia. Go back to these places. You have an opportunity to just go back. I don't understand why these people are coming here, being part of the system, benefiting from the system, and then spitting in our faces and say, I actually prefer the other place.
I think they're on assignment. And they are answering to a whole different class than their constituents, even. Definitely not the American people. You do not reward this kind of thinking with a seat in Congress. I mean, this is asinine. This is insane. Take someone that says, hey, I'm born in Illinois, but I'm not from here, and I'm not for this place.
Right.
I'm for the place my ancestors came from. So what? All of a sudden we should have half of Congress fight for Ireland and for Wales and for Great Britain and for Scotland?
I know. Well,
What are we talking about here?
Right. Someone, I know we have to go to break in a second, Stephen, but someone was, I reposted this from the Blaze and I was just like, go home, go back home.
Yes.
And someone was like, you first, Gonzales. And I'm like, and of course it was a Democrat with like Ukraine flags and a mask and all sorts of stuff.
Purple
and I'm just
hair.
like, you guys just don't even understand.
Yeah.
Just, it's so, the lack of self-awareness to understand how racist that is.
Unbelievably racist, profiling off the get-go, and just saying, you go back, Gonzales. By the way, this Gonzales never claimed to not be an American, never had not been a patriot to this country.
Yeah.
An immigrant, for crying out loud, and I bleed red, white, and blue. This is the land God chose for me to come to, and I will defend it. I have to. To say thank you for what it affords me and my children.
See,
I have to give back to this place. And these oxygen thieves want to rob it blind and fight for some other radical ideology.
Yep.
They should be booted out just on the statements alone. Disqualified.
I know. It is so backwards that we even allow this in our system. And she deserves all of the criticism that she has coming to her today. All right, we've got to take another quick break. You are not going to believe this next story is like one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life. You're not going to believe this when we come back. So yesterday, disgraced former CNN anchor Jim Acosta released I'd call it an interview. I don't know if that's what you can call it. I think that's what he is calling it, but he actually used AI to pretend to interview a deceased teenager by the name of Joaquin Oliver, who was one of the Parkland shooting victims. So this is not real. This is entirely fake. And he's like pretending to have a back, and it's really weird. Watch.
I would like to know what your solution would be for gun violence.
Great question. I believe in a mix of stronger gun control laws, mental health support, and community engagement. We need to create safe spaces for conversations and connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. It's about building a culture of kindness and understanding. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea, Joaquin.
This is so... God bless anyone who loses a child. I don't know what that's like. I hope I never know what that's like. I mean, just my heart goes out to anyone on what political opinions aside. But you'll notice at the bottom, it said Joaquin's father helped with this AI to give his son a voice. Listen, if you want to go out there and be an advocate for something, go out there and be an advocate as this boy's father. There it is. Joaquin's father created this avatar to help give his son a voice again. But what you don't do is put up a fake depiction of a kid who's no longer here and do a mock that raises so many ethical questions about journalism. I don't even know where to begin.
It shatters all the ethics of journalism. I wonder what a Laura Logan would say about something like this. True journalists like you, and not just that. That's not Joaquin's voice. Not the sound. It's not. It's his father and a non-journalist,
right?
What you call Acosta.
Well, to be fair,
Faker.
Probably nobody wants to be on his show, so
Faker. So this is. I mean, I don't know. For me, it's super low, and it's not honoring. That's not honoring to that son who lost his life tragically, absolutely tragically, right? But that's not honoring.
No,
It's you don't get honor from dishonor. And it's dishonor because it's fake. It's not real. It's not the son speaking. We don't know if that's what the son would say. And you could say, well, we do. Well, no, you don't, because he's not speaking for himself.
Right.
I pray he's in heaven. I hope he knew the Lord. And a father's pain is obviously immense. I understand that. But with Acosta, you take that with someone who that little credibility, and then put it out that way. Even Acosta being willing to do that. It's like,
that's my problem. That's my problem. That's my problem. Because if you were in his position, I could understand you going, listen, I would love to give you a voice. If you want to come on my show as this kid's father and talk about what you think your son would have wanted or what you want, do that. Please do that.
For yourself.
Please do that. Let's not do this AI thing. That's distasteful. And instead, Jim Acosta thought, well, I might get 5 viewers, which is 5 more than I normally get. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's exploit this kid's memory.
Now, let's just remember that AI stands for artificial.
Right.
So on a subject matter that heavy, on the Second Amendment, on a school shooting, on the death of a young man and others, you're going to bring AI into the conversation?
Yeah,
you're going to make it fake?
The lowest of the low.
Yeah.
But then what else could we expect from Jim Acosta? Jaco, thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.